You know those conversations you have with people, the ones where you ask them a question and they respond and you're like, oh my God, that was fire. Like, why is no one else hearing this right now? Like, everybody needs to hear what you just said. This is so amazing. This is so lit up. This is so inspiring. And it just flowed out of the other person. You know, it's just in this private conversation. Well, that's what happened when I had a conversation with Clarinda recently, and I asked her, after having had conversations with several other people that kept giving and sharing excuses as to why they wouldn't allow themselves to be seen or feeling stuck or what was holding them back. And, you know, it's okay. I mean, everyone has seasons and cycles of retreating, of not wanting to be seen, of hiding out. Maybe they're healing and integrating. And I asked Clarinda what was different from her. Why did she keep showing up? Why did she keep pushing through the fear anyway and putting herself out there and allowing herself to be seen? And her response was completely real, completely off the cuff, completely candid. And I said, this is fire. We have to share this, you know, and of course she gave her permission to do so. So I wanted to share that with you in hopes that, you know, her story is amazing. She is an amazing human, an amazing soul, and I wanted to share that with you in case the words that Clarinda shares are the words that you need to hear today, are the reminders that you need to hear, you know, that you're not alone, that somebody else has been through it too, that I hope that you can use this as motivation or maybe inspiration that you needed to put yourself out there, to allow yourself to be seen, to remember that you don't have to have it all figured out, to be able to be of value, to serve the world. And it's just incredible that to see Clarinda come to the fullest expression of who she is, and I'm so grateful that I get to support her in this journey. And so without further ado, here is Clarinda's response to my question of why she hasn't quit and why she keeps showing up, even on the days when she feels like she doesn't have it figured out or that she's feeling afraid. So here's Off the Cuff with Clarinda.
I was going to say one thing that has changed. It was the end of 2018. I was having a lot of crises. And as far as my weight, as far as my health, my dog died. Like, it just felt like I was hitting bottom. And I was 100 pounds heavier than I am now. And I just got tired of it all. And I was like, I'm changing. I'm ready to change my life. And so I started working out. I started gaining confidence in doing that. And then 2019, I did something that I shocked myself by doing. And I went overseas by myself and flew, which was a terrifying thing for me because I'm afraid of flying anyways. And then I flew over the oceans. And I went to Bulgaria. And I think that trip was the moment where I completely knew when I came back, I was never going to be the same. Like, I still lean into that experience, like me facing my fears of all of the fears and all of those experiences that I've had, and deciding to, like, push forward with my dream. This year when I had my surgery, I had already started doing human design with Karen and all this community, wonderful people. And I just knew that I wasn't going to be able to go back. So I think that's the thing that pushes me now. It's like, I feel like I can't go backwards at this point. Like, there's no going back and only forward. And whenever I'm starting to feel scared or afraid, which is happening a lot, I have to process sometimes. I lean back into those moments of courage that I had and know, like, remind myself how strong I am and that I fucking can do it. If I, like, I can do it. I got on that damn plane. I went overseas by myself in a country where I did not speak the language. Nothing was going right. Like, at first, I got there at night. I didn't have a rental car. I had to find a ride to this other town in a country where I didn't even speak the language. It was just all kind of stuff. And I think back on that, and I'm like, you survived it. You're strong. You can do it. And so, like, with this stuff, it's intimidating. It's scary. But I just remember those things, like the times when I was like this inner strength that's there, and tapping into that, and then like, man, forget it. Sometimes it takes a minute to like get myself back to that point, because I was going through that, oh, I don't want to make a video, oh, my videos are not good enough, comparing myself to everyone else, doubting myself, and then I was just like, forget it, forget about it. I'm just going to start talking and go from there and see what happens. Like, the more that I do it, I think the more comfortable I'll get with doing it, and it's just like, I got to make myself do it. And then thinking like, what's the worst that's going to happen, Clarinda, when you get on here? You could completely fuck it up, but so what? Like, who are these people judging you anyway? And I'm actually now, because I found myself sitting here constantly looking at my phone to see if people are liking my stuff, and I'm trying to pull myself out of that crap, because it's like, I don't even want to check IG. Like, I just want to put my content out and then leave it there and just go. Not keep checking back every 5 minutes or 10 minutes to see where my likes at, or if people are viewing it, because then I get in my head, and that's a whole nother mess of stuff there. So trying to get out of my head and, look at the things that I am doing that are good, remembering these amazing calls with my clients that I'm having. Like, this lady, she literally just got off the phone with me. She booked as soon as we got off, and that's a first for me. So that was a huge milestone. And the conversation, because she was just like, this is, like, she was telling me, she was like kind of like surprised and shocked, because everything I was saying, I was following my spirit. I knew I needed to look at this woman's astrological chart, because I was like, there's something serious, there's something big going on here that I need to see what was happening at this time. And so it just ended up being me tying human design and astrology together. But just the response that I had with her, and the responses that I've been having with other clients, like, it reminds me why the hell I'm doing this. I have to sometimes step away from that damn social media in my mind. I actually created my posts for the next 2 to 3 weeks, and just was like, okay, if I want to add stuff, then that's good, but at least I have my 3 a week for these next couple weeks, and I can start focusing on other stuff. But getting out of my head on that and reminding me myself why the hell I'm doing this, not getting like so focused about how much money I'm making. Oh, I'm not seeing the money that I need. My bills are all coming at the same time, and it's overwhelming. I don't even know if I'm going to have enough to eat. Oh, shit. My husband's truck broke down, so that's our income, So just like all of that was going on, and then I have a session that's amazing, and I'm like, this is why I'm doing this. This is why I am doing this. This reminds me. And if it's not, like, when it starts feeling like it's pulling me out of my integrity, when it starts feeling like it's becoming all about money, when it starts feeling like it's like all this competition or whatever, I just kind of have to withdraw myself from that energy and remind myself, nope, you're strong. You can do this. Don't give up. Keep pushing. The marathon, not a sprint. That is my thing. That's my jam. That's what I used with my weight loss. And I still use today, like, to give myself leniency, to be caring with myself about it, to not fall into those behaviors and patterns that I had around eating and food and my weight. So taking those experiences and now just applying it to building this business. And it's like, I'm trying to build the foundations. This is a 4-year. I knew that this was a year about me building a solid foundation. And that's what I feel like is happening. Like, this is foundational. Stuff doesn't just happen overnight. It didn't happen like that for me in my nursing career. When I first started nursing, I remember that too. Like, I think back on that. When I first started nursing, I was scared as hell. I didn't think I knew enough. I didn't know. I was constantly learning, evolving, and changing as a nurse. But now, if you put me in a nursing scenario, it's like confident, very confident there. And this just feels like starting over again. And I have to remind myself where I started, like when I was a nurse. You didn't just overnight become this amazing nurse. Not sound arrogant, like egotistical, but you didn't just become an amazing nurse overnight. It took years of practice. It took years of studying and learning and working with patients. And so I kind of like go back and remind myself of that and think of this in that same way, because I feel like I'm starting over on my next journey, my next thing that I'm trying to like grow in and gain more mastery of. And so those are things I know this was a long answer, but those are the things that I think have helped me to to keep trying. I'm not like, and then I'm definitely conditioned to not be a quitter. If I feel like I'm really driven to do something, and if I feel like it's in alignment, then I have willpower, I guess, to stick with it, even though I go through my emotions of being up and down with it. And another powerful thing that I am seeing, and this is actually one of the biggest things, is that by the stuff that I've been doing, that you guys have helped me do in the quantum human design community, my mother has now become one of my biggest fans. And my mom is like showing my podcast stuff to her sisters. Like, I'm so proud of her. She's like doing this. And it's like almost like clearing something for her as well, because it's like my daughter is really doing this stuff that she's been talking about doing for years. And she's working hard. She's putting in the work. She's trying. And she just, it really touches my heart, like almost breaks me into tears.